Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Legend of Zelda: Broken Path. I am your happy master GM, and these are my players.
Hello.
Hello.
Heyo.
Hello.
1 second.
Alright, guys, how you doing?
Good. You?
I am doing good, actually, yes.
I don't think we ever asked that before.
You actually haven't.
Wow, we're so inconsiderate.
You always ask where's the GM, not how to GM.
We take 2d20 damage for being inconsiderate.
Alright.
We gain disadvantage on wisdom saving throws.
No.
No! Alright.
And our charisma is just negative modifier.
Also, little quick note. Sabina will be back and forth, but she is here. So, let's see. Anything I'm forgetting? I don't think so. Am I forgetting anything, guys?
Nope.
Don't think.
We got our GM, we got Sabina, we got Gordon, we got Alder, we got Amara. We got Amara, right? Amara?
Yes.
Oh, there
Yes, we do. Alright, well, everyone's here, so shall we get down into our recap?
Yes.
Sounds good.
Alright, guys. So, when last we left off, your group, the Fate Breakers, had come back in time. However, you came back with just the three of you, Sabina, Gorian, and Amara, seemingly coming to the terms with that. Lavana had been punished by Din, and in so doing, you all remembered her, but anyone that had met her had forgotten her, and she seemed to have forgotten herself. And you lamented a bit on what to do about Esmeralda, her daughter, and then you all decided to go to Death Mountain. However, upon arriving at Death Mountain, you all came upon the scene of the Shika and Dogum, and some of the other Gorons apprehending seemingly these travelers, and it was revealed these travelers were in fact Iga. There was a bit of a scary moment with Dogum as he seemed to have enough, and he was going to drop the Iga into lava, which would have killed him. However, through your pleading and persuasions, you managed to talk Dogum down and managed to help him get back to himself. And he expressed his desire to go on to a vacation with the group in the sun. You all deciding that's actually sounded pretty nice. Only after everything was done, however. And then you all met with Natra, who seemed to remember Esmeralda, but did not remember her mother. However, she took the girl from you guys and said that she would be safe with her. Clearing your conscience there, at least. With that, you all heard from Dogum about a Korok that had apparently traveled a little too close to Death Mountain and went down a fireball. Fearing the worst, you all traversed to where, near the Dodongo Cavern, and where you, I think Amara plucked the Korok up out of the ground, revealing himself to be Alder, who seemed to be the boyfriend of one Flora, who taught Amara how to be a battle master.
Yeah.
Upon meeting him, you all bonded rather quickly, taking a liking to the Korok and his little quirky nature, and decided to bring him with you guys to Brutus's home. And so you used Mira to traverse to Brutus's home, where you all had a moment of just rest and respite and just taking a moment to let your hair down and enjoy the hot springs, and even meeting Zeke again, who had seemingly swam through an underground channel to that hot spring, terrifying the men, almost being choked out by Brutus, but ultimately having a good time himself before he left. Also terrifying Alder when he bit the bowl, the wooden bowl in two. And then you all made a plan of seeking out the commander the following day. And then that you all rested. And Amara Scalebound claimed Brutus Ursai as her own. So
Much
that
to the dismay of everyone.
Yes, that ship did indeed go to space.
That ship sailed and then some.
Indeed. Brutus,
I was going to question where the rest came from.
Well, after learning from Amara about Zoraheats and what that meant, and the bite on his neck was basically her marking him. He accepted it. Very embarrassedly, seeing a very big man being so shy, he said he loved her, and she responded in kind, though a bit more jokingly as she left the room. But that the group had gotten themselves together, and then traversed to the Korok Forest, where you all met Flora again, and Riki, who was the one who taught Gorin how he properly channeled his rage. Seems so long ago now. Wow, seriously. Anyway, you all met, and you also met Moro, who seemed to be another one of the Korok community heads. You all tried to convince him about the coming war and that having to take a side, and the importance of fighting and standing up. But Moro seemed very frustrated, particularly with Alder, and told him that he can do whatever he wanted before storming off and running away. And I believe you all are still there with Lana and Frederica, yes?
No, actually, we've...
Actually, no. And after that, you took... you left Lana and Frederick there. You took Alder and Flora, and Brutus with you as well, as you just teleported to Tetra.
Yes.
Seemingly in an in-room. And upon looking up at you, you all saw on her hand the Triforce of Courage burning bright on it. And I believe that's where we left off.
Yep.
All right, guys. So we'll pick up right there.
Oh dear. I see we have a coloured elder now. Yay! Oh, we just noticed that.
Yep. All right, you guys. So you're standing right there in front of her, and you all see it at the same time.
Amira isn't even surprised. Like, she kind of expected this might happen. She's just gonna let out a sigh, just like, well, I figured this might happen sooner or later.
Gorin just sits down across from her.
You see her there. She's just, she doesn't seem surprised to see you all. She seems just to be more focused on...
The mark?
Yes.
When did this happen?
You see her kind of move her hand a bit. I'm kind of turning it for a moment and then taking a breath as you speak to her, and she looks at you for a moment and says, well, when I woke up this morning, it was there. It had always been there.
Yeah.
And she flickers over all of you, seeing the two Koroks and Brutus, as Brutus speaks up and says, oh, Commander, it's all right, Brutus, I'm fine. Now then, here, stop for a second. Where's Lavana?
Gorin looks at the others in shock.
Amira's just gonna take a sigh, like, oh, so you remember Lavana. Okay.
Of course I do. And you see Brutus kind of looking confused as he's, you know that name too? Of course I know that name. You've met her. Everyone has. What's going on?
This is going to sound insane, but we met the goddesses. We made an oath in front of the goddesses, Lavana included. She then proceeded to break that oath. Her punishment is basically practically everyone but us forgetting her.
What? She kind of chuckles a bit, confused.
It's a lot more complex, but that's the simple basis of what happened. she's gonna pull out Boyer's Wind to sort of say, we got these gifts from the goddesses, basically. So we did meet them, but Lavanna broke her oath and basically got punished for it.
You see her kind of look at all the gifts and look at you all. You're not lying, are you?
I have no reason to lie. Lavanna's alive, she's just...
She's as good as gone.
Yeah, she doesn't remember any of us. She doesn't remember Catal. She doesn't remember Esmeralda. Nothing.
Wow.
She lost everything.
That's great, isn't it? She kind of sits back a bit and kind of contemplating, and then stands up. Well, what's done is done. Why are you here?
Gorian stands up and he says, we came here to speak to Rufus, as well as secure the north.
He's here kind of give you a, not out of like maliciousness or anything like that, but she seems kind of just skeptical. Talk to Rufus then. She kind of sighs about it. Well, I tell you now, you never meet a more stubborn man.
It runs in the family.
Apparently. She crosses her arms. And so you can see her, Alder. This is Tetra. The exact expression, actually.
She is not amused.
She is not impressed.
She is rarely impressed.
Gorian continues by saying, it's imperative that everyone in Hyrule come under one banner.
So let me get your, you're going to march in there, say, I am the rightful king, follow me.
Not quite that way. I'm hoping to appeal to his better nature.
His better nature. Alright, then I'll tell you what I know about Rufus, and I'll follow you, obviously. And by the way, who are these two? And she kind of looks at Flora and Alder.
Oh, this is Alder. He's a Korok druid, and this is Flora, a friend of mine.
They don't know he's a druid yet, but...
Shh. We don't know this. No, I'm kidding. Yes, they're Korok friends of mine. Hello.
She kind of, it's the kind of staring down, cocking an eyebrow.
Yeah, he also has the Triforce, and she's the sage of the Forest Temple.
What? And Flora kind of, hi, right next to him.
Alder looks entirely unintimidated. He just sort of waves at her with a tiny arm.
It's adorable.
You see her kind of kneel down to you, Alder, and she's kind of looking you over. And you're one of the chosen too.
Apparently.
And you're the Forest Sage. Uh-huh. Great. Also, Brutus, what happened to your neck?
Alder makes a coughing noise.
Amira looks anywhere but Tetra right now.
Well, you know how life happens. And sometimes in life, decisions are made, and
Amira's just gonna snort with amusement at this.
And as he's talking, you see Tetra kind of staring at him very deadpan, and she's, what the hell happened? Well, it's a You wouldn't understand. It's a Zora thing. As you see her kind of yank his beard down to her. What happened? Oh, okay.
Wait. Did she just yank his beard down?
Yes.
Yeah, she grabbed his beard and...
Okay, she's instantly going to get in between them both.
She
Like,
kind of looks at you.
all possessive.
I think both of the Koroks are still in Amara's arms, so Alder might be trying to squirm free at this point.
As she looks at you, and she kind of like step between her, like them, and you kind of like have your pupils slit a little bit, and like your fins begin to flare. And she's, "What the hell's wrong with you?"
Sabina!
She looking at you and she's, "You have a problem?"
Sabina!
Mara says, hold on.
There we go. This game is brought to you by our friends at Lon Lon Ranch. Lon Lon Milk. It might save your life.
That's a pretty good slogan.
Basically, Amira's just gonna be like, it's a long story. Long story short, I mated with him. Please don't be rough with him. It's gonna piss me off.
Are you saying that?
Yes! She's just gonna be blunt about it.
You mated with him.
Yes.
She kind of lets Bruce go, puts her hands on her hips. Is that true, Brutus? Yes, no, I know that in the warning clause, paragraph 4, that we aren't supposed to commit to anything lasting.
A little late for that.
You see him kind of like tinting his fingers like he's trying to like talk around legal issues. Mm-hmm. Well, and it's, you know, it is my fault. All blame's on me.
I think it was more of a two-way thing, but okay.
Okay, Mara, please. She's kind of staring at you both.
Watching this amused.
Is mating always this complicated with your kind?
Only when they make a vow, yeah. Stedra kind of like shifts her like weight on one onto one hip. And now she's crossing her arms, and then she has the exact expression as in her picture. Okay. In my defense, she's technically not a warden. No, she's not, but she's an initiate, so, you know, technically a trainee. Yes, that's true. Ooh, that sounds bad. Okay, wait, hold on. I'm sorry, okay? It was in a moment, and I'm kind of married now, I think. Because, what? And she looks at you, Amara. You're married?
Pretty much.
She kind of sighs, and she has a thing where she puts her hands on her hips and kind of looks at the sky. You know the pose.
The whole, dear Lord, why do I have to deal with this?
Essentially. And she's, you both understand we're about to be balls deep in war, and you just decided, hey, we'll get married. It's fun, right?
I mean, technically, historically, there's been a lot of cases where
I'm not talking to you,
people get...
Joseph.
Do you want to go?
Oh my god!
Are you saying that?
Gorian tries to like grab Alder and is like shh.
Yeah, like Bruce kind of grabs her like no. And she's like pulling her away. As far as like pop.
She's being rude to them.
She's the commander.
Hey,
I mean, it's just like,
if Murrow and I have to get along, I don't see why they don't have to do the same thing. They're on the same side, aren't they?
Yes, but it's different. She kind of sighs.
Fine.
Thank you.
He just sort of shuffles closer to Flora and looks displeased with the situation.
Tetra has the biggest scowl on her face now, like...
Amir's just like... Things happened?
Yeah, I bet. You know what? Fine. I don't care. I don't care.
Oh,
care. I'll give
good.
you a
That's
fist.
fine with me, then.
And Bruce is like, Amara, come on. As Tetra just storms out of the room, you hear like the door hit, slam so hard you see it kind of crack. And Bruce is kind of just now there like he's a kid in trouble.
I was going to be diplomatic till she insulted me.
Yeah, she does that.
Amir's just gonna pat Bruce's arm. Just give her 5 minutes. I'll go talk to her later.
Listen, Alder. A lot of people right now are at their wits' end. They all have a very short fuse, so you might have to be a little bit more forgiving towards them if they start acting out.
Fair enough.
And Amara, roll me insight check up Brutus real fast.
Insight check.
Mhm.
Oh no.
Spoopy. This is gonna go well. That's alright. 14.
14. Looking at him now, it's... You catch the micro expressions on his face as he kind of furrows his brow for a sec, but it looks like he's not telling you something.
She's gonna raise an eyebrow at this and is like, something wrong?
Yeah. As Clan Ursai, we are the wardens up here. We're one of the protectors of this land, but the other houses, Atos, Lupus, Service, and Fellis, we all work together, and technically speaking, before everything happened here, I was supposed to marry the first daughter of another house.
Oh no.
Amira's just gonna blink, look at him, and then go, oh my god, I've just pulled a Lavana.
Gorian buries his face in the palm of his hands.
Palm.
But it's been it was when we were kids, and it's been a long time, and a lot's changed, and we haven't even spoken about it, and I don't know what's what.
Oh, we might want to figure that out.
Yeah.
Sooner rather than later.
He nods, and he looks very apologetic, kind of caught in the moment. He totally forgot about this, and now, seeing the commander brought it immediately to the forefront.
She's not mad at him. She's just like, oh shit, that just dug us into a deeper grave here.
So you can actually understand why the commander's also a little more peeved at Brutus than just you technically being the trainee and you're a member.
Yeah, I can understand it a little bit more now.
But you guys gonna wait here for her to get back?
I mean, Amir's probably gonna go after her to see if she's okay.
Oh, wait. I don't think we can leave here, can we? We're not supposed to be in this castle after all.
That is true.
Actually, then again, Brutus can come and go as he pleases, right? So I guess he can escort them. Hello?
Yes. Hold on a sec. As you notice, you are, as you look around, this room does seem a bit more ornate, and you don't seem to be in some kind of, perhaps not castle, but it's definitely a, at least a fort of some kind. And here, I'll get a picture for you again of the place so you can see. You guys are inside the castle.
So it is a castle.
Yeah,
Okay.
castle-y fort kind of thing. It's more of like a
fortsel.
It's built to like take battles.
Yeah, fortsel.
Yeah.
All right.
Forkastle.
So,
But all right.
I guess we could leave with Brutus's escorting us because he's allowed free reign here.
Yeah. Why don't you speak up? Bruce is, honestly, it might be best for us to wait for her. She's the one that has business here. Well, I came back in time, so. You see him kind of like doing like the math meme in his head.
He was like, where should I be right now?
It's best to wait, at least.
Fair enough.
Oh, speaking of which, was there anything important you had to do over the past 3 days? Or the future 3 days?
Supposed to have a meeting with the other houses. Which, actually, he thinks for a moment, it's today, so it works out.
So it's over here then?
It's at least in this city, but well, town.
Alright, we should probably go there next.
Also, Amara, I'm really sorry.
She's complains like, it's fine, really. Like, I'm not mad.
I know, I just... I see him kind of sit for a sec. He kind of slouches a bit.
She's just gonna, like, get up on her tiptoes and kiss his cheese. Like, we'll figure this out.
You see him smile gratefully. Thanks. So, while you guys wait this hour, what are you doing?
Okay,
Alder sits in the corner.
Gorian checks up on Natra with the mirror.
On who?
Natra.
Okay. Whoa, for a split second I forgot who Natra was.
You're like, you meant Inara, right?
It's like, no!
I see you, Gorian!
Well, shit.
Alright, well, as you focus on the mirror, and the vision begins to clarify, you focus on Natra, and it, you see it shudder for a moment, and then clarifies, and you see Natra, seemingly standing, she seems to be in a bath.
Oh.
You see basically from like from her back view, essentially. And
he looks over the mirror like, oh shit. His face is
it's
red.
like kind of turn your wall to your back to the wall so no one can see. But she seems to be relaxing in bed, and she seems to be kind of in a bit of a contemplation. However, you see her kind of stop for a sec as she feels someone's eyes on her.
Turn off the mirror.
And immediately goes dark.
Gorian's like, oh, this thing's dangerous. Gorian hands the mirror over to Sabina, who wants to check up on her aunt and mom.
Okay. Sabina, you focus on your aunt first. And you see her, as it clarifies, sitting in Stride Bastion. She seems to be pulling and tugging at her daughter, Talia's hair, your cousin. And Talia seems to be kind of wincing a bit. She's kind of pulling tight. But she has a couple of pins in her teeth as seems to be trying to do something with it. But she doesn't seem to notice. She just is with Talia.
Good, they're still fine, she says.
Okay. And you gotta focus on your mom. And as you go to focus on her, there's no connection. It remains dark and cloudy.
Oh no. She tries again.
Okay. Alright, you go to focus again. And there's still no connection.
Is there a nearby window? She says.
Yes, actually. It's a few stories up, though. As you look out, you can look out into the rest of Snowfield. Seems to be like at this point, it's still about earlier in the morning.
Sabina's very distraught.
Amira's gonna notice this. Is like, Sabina, are you okay?
She says,
Whoa.
She says, I need to go.
Need to go where?
He says, my mama. I can't find her.
Anybody else want to check?
Gorian,
As Brutus kind of looks over as well, along with Flora.
Gorian tries to look through the mirror himself. First for her mom and then for Joan. Yon.
Okay. Okay. Gorian, you focus in the mirror, and you see it shudder as the vision begins to clarify. And you can see a very tall and broad, brutal woman seemingly sitting on a kind of an outcropping, staring out toward the ocean, and she just looks solemn and somber.
So that's not Yon.
No, this is
Okay.
Sabina's mother. And next to her, you do see a very, very fat sand seal, also kind of lounging and kind of sadly has her head in her lap as she's like kind of petting her.
Sabina asks if she sees this too.
You look over.
Yes.
Yes, you would. She passed her first few checks, that's why you didn't see her.
Ah, so she was blocking herself.
Yeah.
My mirror's typing. Oh good, she's alright, she says. Maybe she's trying to prevent scrying on herself. Sabina says, I should still talk to her. About everything. And Gorian turns to her and says, yeah, you probably should. Amara says, considering what Inara can do, it makes sense. Sabina says, with your permission, can I see her now? Gorian nods, but then he looks at like the rest of the party. See for their input.
Alright, and then immediately you all hear a on your door.
Oh.
As you hear it. Alright, you lot, it's ready to see you.
Sure, just be turned. Amara says, sure, just be sure to return soon. We can't do this without you. Oh.
Come on.
Gorian turns to the door, keeping his eye on Sabina. He kind of wants to tell her that she should probably go, but probably needs her here. And Gorian opens the door.
Alright, you open the door, you see Tetra standing there, kind of crossing her arms, and she's... You ready then?
Well, As ready as I'll ever be, I suppose.
Kind of looks past you. All right,
Ready as I'll ever be.
let's go. Oh, and don't forget to bring the twigs. She starts walking down the hallway.
Alder had looked like he was about to apologize, but his mouth slammed shut again.
And Mary will just pick up Alder and Flora and carry them.
Bruce is kind of following, but downcast himself.
Oh.
Gorian walks up to Tetra and he's like, I know that I know that it's a little I know things are a little tense right now, but if you could try to avoid insulting the Koroks, they could be valuable allies to us.
Well, I didn't insult all the Koroks, just that one. Kind of like scowls again.
The Koroks are sort of one people.
All right, I'll add to my to-do list. Happy?
He just nods.
Now then, I need to warn you about something, all right?
Right.
Rufus Loboharu up here is called the Wolf. He is very distrustful. I told him I had guests. I want to meet him. He's very smart. He'll try to play devil's advocate to everything you say. So say what you mean what you say, and hopefully he will at least hear you out.
Just refresh my memory out of game. What does Gorian already know about Rufus besides what Tetra told him? Like, who was he to King Edgar Morn exactly? And
His brother.
right, his brother. So
Eldest.
Eldest brother. Okay.
That's all you got, though.
Right. And he just says, so do I just address him as the wolf, or?
Well, just say Lord Rufus, something like that.
Lord Rufus, got it.
He's not very prideful, but he does like respect.
Of course.
All right, as you all continue down the hall. And you've noticed architecture here, it's a bit more, there's a bit more of a regal navy blue to the aesthetic here. It seems like the usual Hyrule colors, but instead of red, it's blue. Blue and gold, rather. But you all continue, and you do come upon, first icon to a large foyer, and here you can see this foyer, while not as big as an Anaris castle, is still quite sizable. And above, you can see a depiction of what looks to be the three goddesses. I'm kind of encircling the Triforce, and you look around, you can see a couple pillars supporting up the structure. As you all turn to your left, you can see these two winding staircases leading to two double doors that have the Hyrule family symbol upon them.
Gorian's going to cover his Triforce with a glove. He's gonna probably play that card later.
All right.
Yeah, the others see him do this too, just in case they're gonna follow suit.
All right, you all follow?
Alder just sort of snuggles down deeper into Sabina's arms.
And Sabina says yes, she does the same, I guess. And Amara too.
All right. You all walk up these stairs, kind of hearing your footsteps echo out into this chamber. And you take a breath before Tetra looks back to you and says, "It's time to meet your uncle." Before she pushes open the doors, it's a big and sitting. It's not a throne. You notice, however, it's more of a bit more of an ornate chair, one leg over the other. You all see this man as he is seems to be stroking his beard, watching you approach. But you all feel, even from this distance, the weight of his stare. Even for you, Alder, being much older than he is, you feel like a novice in his gaze. As you all approach, and Tetra walks forward.
Gorian
And
forgot
she
to...
kneels. You all notice here on the walls, you see different colors of it seems to be the houses of the north here. As they have guards here, stationed here as well, as they seem to be watching you all walk past. And you see Rufus regards you as Tetra kneels and says, well, Lord Rufus, this is the Walden Initiates I told you about that have a bit more importance than just that. She kneels and you see Brutus immediately take a knee as well.
Gorian also kneels. He says, "It is an honor to speak with you, Lord Rufus."
And Rufus, he looks at you in particular, Gorian, as he's... It is a honor to meet you as well. What are your names?
My name is Gorian, a Hylian raised by the Gorons. And just wait for the others to write. Sabina Saraswati of Judge Citadel. And Emera says, I am Emera Scalebound of the Zora.
Alder allows Flora to speak for them.
I am Flora, the Sage of Forest, and this is Alder. He's my bodyguard. As she speaks, Rufus kind of falls on her for a moment as Sage of Forest. Yes. We're here to awaken me. She seems a bit unsure of the word that she says it, but you all told her so. I see. He notices Brutus as he... Master Ursai, I'm glad you could join us. And Brutus kind of clears his throat. It is a honor to be in your presence again, Wolf. Rufus kind of smiles a little bit as he's... You look well. I'm glad. Now, what brings you to the north?
It is as Flora said, we are on a holy mission to awaken all the sages. In addition to that, we are seeking to forge an alliance across the whole of Hyrule.
So, you wish access to the Forest Temple in my domain, as well as an alliance, is that right?
I know it's a tall order, but as things are turning out in Hyrule right now, we fear that it's the only solution to the problems that will soon arise.
Yes. I have received reports that my niece is amassing a force.
There is bound to be a battle by the end of our mission. We need all the help we can get.
Is that so? And why should I entertain this idea, Master Gorian?
He actually stands up and he says, because it's the only way to save Lady Inara.
As you stand up, I'm sure you stand up rather quickly.
No, just, like, to meet him eye to eye, sort of.
Okay. And as you stand up, you notice that the guards are on the walls, and you kind of stiffen as if they all kind of grab their weapons, but Lobo lifts his hand as he's staring at you. And you guys share a gaze for a moment, and you a little closer now, you can see the crystal blue of his eyes. You understand why he gained that nickname. Roll persuasion, Gordon.
Not my best stat. Eight.
Okay.
Oh no. I want to emphasize the fact that Gorian didn't stand up threateningly.
I know.
Because I'm feeling I'm gonna roll initiative.
All right. As you say that, you finish your piece and you stand there as he seems to watch you for a time. And you see him kind of tilt his head just for a moment, kind of as he's looking at you. What did you say your name was?
My name was Gorian.
Gorian.
That is what the Gorons named me.
Do you have any other names?
Does Gorian know what Rufus is insinuating?
He's looking at you carefully.
Gorian just said, I do, yes. Names that I intend to grow into over time.
Then let them be known.
Rome, Bosphoramus, Hyrule.
As that last letter leaves your lips, you see around you, here in this, from the guards to servants, everyone just stops and stares and like awe, and you see Rufus stiffen. Hyrule.
Yes.
Rome. Kind of closes his eyes for a moment as he's recalling something. I have not heard that name in a long time.
I've only heard it recently. From my mother, Marcella.
Your mother. And you scoff for a second before he snapped his fingers, and you all see one of the servants immediately run off and return with this very old book. And the servant opens it, and you see Rufus kind of motioning his finger to keep turning the page before he stops. And he points to it, and the servant holds it open as best they can. For he motions for the servant to come to you with the book. And this tome seems very old, but on its latest page, you can see the tree of your family.
There's like a soft expression on his face as he's looking over it.
You see Marcella. You see Emil. And the only picture they had of you at the time in this art's depiction was that of a baby. And for the first time, you can actually see a full portrait of your family with Emil, Marcella, and you. As she seems to be cradling you, and she seems to be looking down at you lovingly, and you see Emil over her shoulder with a big grin on his face. And you are what you assume to be squirming.
I was typing something. Oh, just saying aw.
But you hear Rufus speak again. I lost my sister a very long time ago. Alas, the goddesses did not bless me with the ability to give life. So I served in other ways. Tactician for my brother. Marcella had a child first. A boy, Rome. He was loud. Very loud and active.
He kind of stifles a chuckle.
But he was a Hyrule through and through. And then, not long after, a younger brother, Edgar, had a daughter, Anara. And you see him kind of looking off, and for a moment, and there's just like this reminiscent look in his eyes. She was Rom's polar opposite. Quiet as could be. You had to put your finger near her nose to see if she was even breathing. But she was good. And looking at the book again, Goran, you can see your uncle in the face of a woman with seems to be red hair, as she is sitting alone properly with a little girl, seems to be no older than 4 or 5, standing next to her, and in her arms she's cradling, seems to be a baby, and you know that's Frederick. He continues. But I suppose the Hyrule name carries a curse with it as well. For you see, it all began after Marcella went missing. She was visiting this diplomat to the Gerudo. And along the way, somehow she didn't make it. And then Emil began his rampage across Hyrule, searching for his wife and son. I attempted to talk sense into him, but he was too far gone, and Edgar was good at ruling. A real knack for it. I refused the throne, and Marcella refused it because she thought she'd be a better diplomat. But I think that was our first mistake. It's truly the first sin. Because then, in the chaos of Marcella missing and Rom missing, Emil carving a path through Hyrule, she appeared. See ya.
Gorian narrows his eyes.
She was the answer to our prayers, seemingly. She was an advisor to Edgar. But it did not feel right. I attempted to warn my brother, but he did not listen to me, and I was banished to the north. In this, he looks around now at this throne room, to Castle Snowfield. And from here, I watched it fall apart. I watched little Anara become a scourge, banishing her father to the south. I don't know what happened to her mother, and keeping her brother, she became a conqueror. Her heart is black as they come. And now I have word that she has personally put an end to her father, and now seeks her brother. And now she turns her eyes to the north. As he motions to the houses you see in the guards here that are along the wall. She turns her eyes here to wipe out a legacy of good, noble houses of the north that protected it. and me as well, so that none can stand in her way. Now she's done here. Make no mistake, she will destroy the Wardens.
Which is why we need to create an alliance and act quickly.
Indeed.
Now, knowing this, he now sits back. How do I know you are truly wrong?
Gorian just stays quiet for a minute, then he just says, I cannot prove my lineage to you, but I can tell you that I do not have aspirations for the throne. Only to see that the Hyrule is finally well and good as it should be. Only to see that things are right again.
We wish for peace, not power.
Just trying to think of something else. There was something else Gorian wanted to say, but I couldn't remember.
I mean, we could tell him that Inara is being controlled, but...
That is a good point. You want to do that?
Yeah, Amira's just gonna be like, Lady Inara is being controlled by a force that is outside many people's comprehensions. And she's not going to stop until all of Hyrule is hers. We need an alliance in order to stop her and bring her back to what she used to be.
You see him stop for a second, kind of. You're certain of this?
We are
Gorian.
very certain of this.
Gorian just nods.
And what, pray tell, what force compels her so to lay all to waste?
I'm sure you've heard the stories of Ganon and the hero.
He narrows his eyes. I have.
Then you should already guess that it's Ganon that is controlling her.
The legend of the Demon King. Correct.
Yes.
And you're telling me he has sway over Inara?
Yes, he does.
Sia is his avatar.
And what proof do you have of this?
We have little proof that Ganon is controlling her. But we do have proof that he is returning. And that she's just gonna look to the others like before she's gonna hold up her hand where the Triforce is.
Yeah.
This would not appear unless Ganon was going to make a return.
At that point, Gorian also removes his gauntlet.
You're a smart man, Rufus Lobo Hyrule. Surely you must understand that if anyone is going to take advantage of world conquest, it's going to be Ganon. What better pawn to have than the leader of Hyrule?
As you all show that, you see him stiffen as he looks to all of you. Are you showing you as Alder?
His belly just glows.
Alder.
Oh no.
Alder just stays snuggled down in Sabina's arms.
Okay. As you all show, you see him scanning all of you. With that, Guardian, he's make me because you showed it, make me a persuasion check with advantage.
Please work. 15 and 21.
Yay! I helped.
Nice, you beat it by 1. You see him kind of run his hand over his beard. As if he's taking what you said into consideration, but he seems to be having his own thought process at the same time.
I mean, that's fair. Most people who we've shown the Triforce to have been very skeptical at first. Like, wait, what?
To which you all see Tetra stand up next. And she says, "My lord," and he looks to her now, "what they say is true. I've seen the end once." "What do you mean, I've seen the end once?" "Well, suffice it to say, I'm from the future. Far-fetched, I know, but..."
Gorian's kind of looking at Tetra as like, are you serious right now? You can't tell him that.
She's telling him that.
"My lord, you know that I do not lie. Can't stand it. I'd rather punch the fucker in the face. But what this lot's saying here is true. And I know this because," and she shows him her hand. As you all see, the Triforce all is shining bright on your hand, so on her hand it becomes radiant. I'm one of them now.
Surprise me.
You see him also kind of take a sit back in awe for a moment as he's winded. Surprised me too. "But my lord, we are running out of time. And Nala will be here soon. And if she can get the Lionels and her forces, this fight becomes a whole lot harder. However, I believe that with their power, with this," she shows it again, "we can set this right. The power of the sages historically has always been able to push back Ganon at least.
We have already secured the Rito village, the Goron village, and the Zora domain. Wait, how many else did we get? I know we got more.
We've got allies amongst the Gerudo as well.
Yeah.
And the Koroks. We have allies across all races, across all of Hyrule. But none of it will be enough if we don't hold that together.
You see Lobo kind of look at you all again, a bit more critical eye now. He says, "You all believe that you can end this, stop Nora, as opposed by extension Ganon."
We believe we have to.
"And what if you're wrong?"
Then all of Hyrule is lost anyway.
This destiny was not given to us lightly. We have to make do with what we have. We have to push forward.
I cannot guarantee the safety of all the people in the north. Not until we awaken the sage, anyway. But I can guarantee that if we don't act, the north is as good as gone either way. As is the rest of Hyrule.
You see him really ponder for a long while. "What you say is true. Without unification, Nara will sweep through the land, destroying everything. looks at you you, Gorian. You know the price of these lives.
I do.
You know that in this war, there will be those that will fall in your name, for your cause. Can you bear that?
I don't think so, but I'll have to. I've already seen what happens if I don't act. Many times. It's why we're from the future.
Yeah, we've already lost a lot of people already. We're gonna do everything we can to minimize the amount of people we lose further on into this war.
He looks to Brutus now. House Ursai. And Brutus kind of stands tall. Yes, my lord. What say you? My lord, I have seen the end. I have faced it. And nearly died. However, if I am going to die, the last of House Ursai, the sole male heir, then I'd rather do so on the battlefield, against my enemies, like a dog. He points to Gorian. I believe in this man, this Gerudo, this Zora, and these Koroks. I believe that together, we will have the might to crush Ganon. Or at least cut them a path through. And no matter how many lives are lost, the future that we buy through this war, through this battle, is worth any price. We will not go quietly, sire. The Ursai will fight. And you hear from the walls where the other houses are watching, those remaining of House Ursai, mostly women now, begin to give this bestial cry of agreeance. Lobo stops and he begins to look about the room. Clan Atos. As he does so, you all look and you follow and you see, you didn't notice it coming into this room, but you see other members of the Warden that you all know standing on the walls as well. As you hear Eva speak, you've seen her a couple times before. She was the rogue within the Warden ranks. Though you also haven't had much interaction with her. Well, my liege, if we do nothing, then all might be lost, but I'm not sure if I trust the words of these strangers to our parts. The Atos clan, rather House Atos, will abstain for now. As you see the other hooded figures along the walls kind of take a step back. Rufus nods, respecting her decision. House Service. You all see, surprisingly, Edmund step forward. My liege, lords and ladies, suffice it to say, I think we are in a bit of a jam. Truth be told, facing down a vast army of monsters and a Norseman alike sounds like a death sentence. It's kind of a bit of a chuckle amongst the his clan. Jaw noticed had a bit more fair hair, but you notice on his on their apparel they have the symbols of a stag. However, House Ursai, be they brutes, has a point. If we do nothing and Anara comes, then, well, Bane's walking forward, kind of turning a bit toward the others, kind of speaking more with charisma than Brutus. If we do nothing, then we're as good as dead. However, my lords and ladies, fellow houses, we have watched the North and protected it for many, many years. However, why can't we just, at least this once, extend our protection to all of Hyrule? Why can't we just this once come together with our other brethren, Zora, Goron, alike, put aside our differences, and fight as one shield, one blade, that we may strike down our foes, that we may, as House Ursai so elegantly put it, buy the future. I, for one, love a good duel. But you see him take out a rapier as he begins to examine it. Don't you? And you see his house give a very boisterous clap, as if they're applauding him. You see him bow as he looks at you all, smiles, looks at you, Sabina, winks.
Of course.
Before he does take his place at the head of his house. And you notice that as they are speaking, you see Neva now. They're all basically standing behind you, next to one another. You see Neva there. You see Edmund. And lastly, you hear him say, well, what is your take? How spells? And you see another warden you all saw briefly step forward. You notice on her face, she does have, seems to be spots, and all along her neck she has these black stripes that fade into her, against her skin, into her armor. And she seems to have her eye on Brutus, particularly. My lord, though we are not as flowery as clan service, and you see Evan kind of get taken aback for a second, like,
I beg your pardon?
we have more spine than House Atos. You see Neva kind of glare at her for a moment.
Oh.
And we have a great deal more loyalty than Clan Ursai. She seems to be giving a very direct stare at Brutus, who seems to be kind of taking a breath under her gaze. We do agree that in these circumstances, with Anara bearing down upon us soon, we must needs make alliance. Besides, And you all see her eyes take a bit more of a lighter tone, and you see her mouth become filled with fangs as you see claws kind of emerge on her form, and you see those stripes come down her arms. She looks more similar to a tiger. We are the fiercest there is. For you see her form revert, making a point, and you kind of hear this low, mumbly growl from her house. That's in agreement. And she takes her place next to Edmund, staring for a moment at Brutus before looking past him to Rufus. Well, it seems you all have decided. Very well. So-called wrong. He looks at you, Gorian.
He looks back.
You have North's Cooperation Alliance. I have experience with tactics, and I will help you in that regard. What the houses do, you must talk to them individually. And he sits back in his chair, giving his verdict. As you see the other houses kind of mumbling amongst themselves for a moment. As he speaks once more, you are dismissed.
Gorian gives another bow. And then he turns to leave.
Alright, you do, and the other houses are already filtering out. And after everyone's dismissed, you see Neva, Edmund, and Aurea all exit as well. And then lastly, you all exit. And as you all exit, immediately you see the houses have kind of made a bit of a circle, a semicircle around the exit of the door. And they're all in the foyer, staring up at your group as you all exit. And you see the three seemingly heads of their houses watching you all as well.
There's a somber look on Gorian's face as he steps out. On one hand, he's glad that he managed to make alliances with them, but on the other hand, the things Rufus said about like bearing the weight of all the lost lives is kind of hitting him.
To which Edmund's the first to speak. Well, my friends, it is good to see you. I know the terms are not the best, but it seems we're under your charge. We must needs discuss what to do next. As he looks to Brutus and he's, Brutus? Edmund? And he kind of motions to you with a light bow. Lady Sabina, I'm glad you're well.
She raises one eyebrow and nods. Amira resists the urge to roll her eyes. Sabina is silently thinking these are Joan's sloppy seconds. She couldn't resist. Gorian just says, there is much to discuss. It's hard to know where to start. But it is imperative that we have sanctuary for the people of the North in case it gets invaded in our absence.
Neva speaks up. House Atos can abide. We know a place.
That would be very, very useful indeed. Thank you very much. I must urge every single one of these houses not to attack Inara's forces. Not until the time has come. It is imperative that we all attack as one. Her army is growing stronger with the addition of Ganon's own monsters.
You see them all kind of look to one another and speak for a moment, but they all seem to be seeing with their own houses. As you see in this foyer, there are quite a few people. It's no small force by any means, but it seems these are mostly the representatives. You can assume there's more people outside actually in Snowfield.
Yeah. I know it's hard. It's claiming we need to create an alliance to fight Inara and then tell you not to fight, but unfortunately, attacking her at any point in time at this moment will lead to certain suicide.
Brutus speaks up. And also, the heads of their houses need to deliberate on the plan of action with Gorian and his friends. You see him kind of look down, and he's avoiding all eye contact with Arya. So, the heads of the houses, and Orius cuts him off. What the bumbling fool means is that we are all going to talk. So head to the conference chamber.
Right.
And you see the three of them begin to move before they dismiss their own people and head toward that direction to the conference.
Go. You may go.
Hey, welcome back. All right, so you all arrive at this conference room as Edmund opens the doors, letting the ladies through. I'm first. And you all see in this room there is a long table and a couple of chairs that are pushed up against it. The fabric of the tables isn't the most, of the seats isn't the most comfortable, but it's practical at least. But you all take your seats?
Yep.
Yep.
Okay. You all sit, and Gloria sits across from you, Amara.
Oh god.
And Evan sits across from you, Sabina. And he sits across from, so on and so forth. So you're all sitting there, and Brutus takes a breath as he's... All right. Well, other houses. You heard that we are supposed to help this group, and they would have words with you. To which Edmund crosses one leg over the other and has his fingers tented as he's, well, I'm all ears. And Neva kind of sighs a bit, but she seems to be listening as well.
Our current mission is to head to the Forest Temple to awaken the Sage of Forest. That'll be our biggest defense against Inara's forces in case she decides to invade. The unfortunate reality, however, is that once we enter the temple, there is no telling when or even if we're coming out.
Yeah, the temples have a tendency to warp time. So we could be in there for a matter of hours, or we could be in there for months.
And Tetra speaks up. Now, I'm not going to temple myself, but I will be out here with you all. So we need to figure out at least some kind of plan. And you all are still technically wardens, even though I'm in your home. And they all kind of nod, acknowledging that. Well, friend, Evan looks to you, Gorian. What would you have us do? Hold the line, hold the fort?
Do whatever is necessary for the survival of all the people up here. If that means fleeing the north, you may have to do that. The north will be secured in the future. It's imperative that as many people survive as possible.
Hmm. I see. Ladies, he looks at Neva and Oria. Neva seems to be contemplating, but Oria is kind of looking passively at Amira now. That's all.
He just says, all the locations we've secured so far are good allies to provide protection against Inara's forces. But it is important that she does not know where you have all gone if she doesn't decide to invade. So it is best that you all scatter, if that should ever come to pass.
Neva speaks up. Scattering we can do.
Wait, does Tetra know about the Master Sword?
I don't think you told her.
She does not, because Amira has not told her yet. I'm surprised she's not like, wait, how the hell did you expect this? Because that's literally the first thing she said. Yeah, I kind of expected this to happen, because, you know, blood of the hero and all that, but she doesn't know that yet.
Wait, does Gorian know, or does just Amira know? I can't remember how I got that information.
I believe that we've heard that from Lumen.
Yeah, you all know.
Okay.
Yeah, Lumen told you.
Lumen told us.
Pretty sure.
Tetra, in the meantime, will have to go do a separate mission in our absence.
Tetra kind of looks at you like... kind of like... What?
Wait, hold on. Who's the boss here?
I mean, he is king.
Yeah, we'll explain later.
You do that. And she sits back in her chair like, So, Neva, your people can, if you need to run, you can get them out. Naturally. Commander? Edmund? Yes? Don't anything stupid. Yes, Commander. He kind of just blows some hair out of his face.
I think Tetra's had to endure enough stupid today.
Oria?
Out of character, I take offense to that.
I didn't mean you, dear. I was referring to Amira and Brutus, but, you know.
Whoops.
And speaking of which, Oria?
Yeah, she's...
What is this?
Oria? I'll do what I must. Good. It seems like there's a bit of tension in the air.
Wonder why?
Brutus? I'm gonna go. All the heads of houses kind of turn to look at him. Sorry. I thought I heard something crazy for a sec. Can you say that again, please? They asked for my help. Oh, okay, cool. No, that's fine. No, it's just, this is a, house meeting as well, and we can't really do a lot without our big, strong frontliner. Leave him. Or he kind of looks over at him. Much of a coward anyway.
Oh dear.
To which she narrows her eyes at him as he's... I'm not a coward. Really? And why are your father and brothers and every other able-bodied man?
Gorian interrupts. He's like, that's enough. We're all supposed to be allies at this table.
Are we? What's the price of your loyalty, Brutus? Tetra speaks up. Oria, I'm just asking a question. What's the price? I can't be bought, Oria. Right. She sits back in her chair. You best tend to that wound. It's bleeding again. As he kind of looks at the bite mark on his neck and he kind of covers it with his hand. A bit self-consciously. Is that why you're going? She'll touch you now, Mara. For this one?
I asked him to come along. In our last combat, we've lost one of our fighters. What? We can't handle these temples when we're down one man. He does kind of like look at Alder, and he does kind of feel guilty for saying it because he also has the Triforce, but he doesn't know what Alder can do. So
Yeah, that is true.
Edmund speaks up. All due respect, you're, Gorian, we could really use his help out here. In case, everything goes sideways.
Gorian nods hesitantly and he just looks at Brutus.
Amira's just gonna take a breath. Is like, Brutus can choose to do whatever he wants. It's his choice where he decides to go. I hold no sway over him.
Brutus is... Another big issue is the Lionels that are made their home around that temple. It's very hard to get in, and the Mian is still... As he mentions that, they all kind of darken for a moment. The Mian is still very active. And if he finds out we're in his territory, he'll hunt us down.
So we must take him down first.
It's always been in duels, though. Corey.
Right.
He is very, very powerful. And there's even a chance you all could die. No. We need you. I kind of makes eye contact with you for a moment, Amira. I need you.
Oh my god. Amira's just gonna look back at him with a sort of faint smile and just nod at his words. She doesn't need to say anything at this point.
And he's... Go ahead, Corey.
Oh, just saying Gorian was just gonna sit there and like deep in thought, wondering how to deal with Lionel. But he doesn't have any idea.
I'll duel him. Everyone speaks up. Again, hearing a lot of the crazy today. Did you say you're going to duel him? You know he wiped out Short. Yes, I know exactly what he did. I was there. Bruce, friend. We grew up together. You're one of my oldest friends. I can't watch you walk to your death. I can't. It's not your decision, Edmund.
Mara's typing.
Yeah, she was gonna say something, but she doesn't finish her sentence. She doesn't want him to die to protect them in particular, but at the same time she knows it is his decision. And whether or not she protests or not, he'd probably do it anyway.
Gorian says to Brutus, "You're the last man of House Ursai. You can't go into this battle without knowing that you stand a chance. And given what you've told me about him so far, I don't think you do. No offense."
What else can I do? House Ursai started this conflict, and the House Ursai should end it.
Gorian's just quiet.
Yeah, so's Amira. She doesn't have a good argument against it at the moment. Because obviously it's all duels. Even if they found someone stronger than Brutus, which is doubtful, there's still not a guarantee that they'll win. So it's just like, it's a very tense moment right now.
Yeah. I'm half tempted to just have Gorian say, I'll do it, but at the same time, it's like, no, he's gonna die. And
And you hear, Flora, speak up. Have you tried talking to them? And all of the halves kind of look at the small Korok that's kind of peeking over the edge of the table. Edmund speaks up. Again, just so much crazy today. Talk to a Lionel. Mm-hmm.
has anyone ever
No,
tried?
I don't think we've tried that.
Has anyone ever tried?
Neva speaks up. Well, to be honest, it usually ends with someone being stabbed before they get a chance to, so...
But you did say this one was honorable.
Honorably vicious.
Honestly, crazy might just be what we need to win this war.
So Aureus speaks up. So what do you want us to do? Talk to him and convince the Lionels to come on our side?
He'd have plenty of duels if he does. Seems to be something he really enjoys.
You know what they say, an enemy of my enemy is my friend. If we can convince him that Inara is a much bigger threat than us, it might just work.
Does Gorian know if Lionels are kind of like a naturally occurring thing in Hyrule, or if they're Ganon's creation?
Roll a nature check.
Can we all
Can
roll
Alder
a nature
can Alder
check?
also roll a nature check for that?
Yes, you
I mean,
can.
that can't be right. I got 7 on nature. that
It's
right?
because you get proficiency because of the mark of
Oh, yeah.
courage.
26! Holy cow.
Nature. There we go. 13.
I know what you guys roll. Let's see, 26, 13, 18.
Amira don't know shit, apparently.
Gorian. Okay, well, Sabine and Alder. Alder, thinking back, you know Lionels. Speaking of Sabina, you read about them all, but Alder, you had your moment with one. You know that they are, unlike the other creatures that are Gain's minions, they aren't created. They are, they're more natural. Gorian, you would know because you took we'll call it an elective. Well, you still you were at Igna and you're growing up.
Okay.
About Lionels. They're one of your favorites. You know that they are actually a race. They're not just created, they are born. They have a whole society to them.
And so they don't have any direct affiliation to Ganon, as far as Gorian knows.
As far as you know, no. They're just their own entities. Fearsome as hell, but their own entities nonetheless.
Flora's right. As insane as it sounds, we do have to have an opportunity to speak with them.
What are the terms of the duels?
Well, it's always a one-on-one combat.
What do they get out of them, though?
They got more land. Territory. For each Earthside they killed. Well, Nemean killed.
So we need to
I don't know what for.
If we can find out the source of their expansion, we might be able to appeal to them more.
But if they're making deals, it proves that they can be at least spoken to.
Yeah, which means they could be reasoned with, possibly.
Gorian,
Yep.
because of your role, by the way, with Lionels, you also know that Lionels respect, above all else, power.
So they're very much driven for conquest.
Not quite conquest. It's The reason it is said, the reason they serve Ganon is the sole fact that they have a collective respect for his power.
Shit. He crosses his hands again and he's like thinking. He tells him that. He tells him about their that they side with Ganon largely because of his power. But so then, back at square one. Unless we can prove to them that our power is worthy of them, I suppose there's no way we can get them to cease.
So we need someone to go toe-to-toe with a Lionel, basically, to prove their worth.
And the Bruce speaks up. Their worth particularly to Namiya, and he is the leader of their people. An alpha, if you will.
What if we brought the sage?
He looks at little Flora, who's still kind of looking over the side.
Not that one.
I'm just gonna look to Gorian. Are you thinking about Dogu?
No,
she doesn't say it, she's just giving him a look like...
No, unfortunately, Dogum has to stay on the mountain. The people up there need all the defense they can get. But there is one person we know who is just as equal a lover of strength.
Oh.
Everyone's staring at you.
What I'm about to tell you does not leave this room. No
We
one.
all to each other. Alright, sure.
We have already woken one of the Gerudo sages.
Oh shit, you want to get Yon?
What?
You want to get her? Go ahead, it was good.
I'm not sure if that's a good thing or not now.
No, it's just one of those cool moments in my head, it's fine. Okay, good.
She is
She is one of the strongest sages.
She is
Not
one of
just
the... Sorry, is Yumera saying this?
When she realizes, wait, not Gor. Oh, Yonu, right. It's just like, right, okay. I suppose that could work if we could get her away from her duties?
Alder looks confused. Don't we need the sages where they are for sage things? And he kind of waves his hand because it wasn't ever really explained to him.
We do,
Sage
but,
thing.
we do, but the Gerudo are not Inara's enemy. She's the only person left that I can think of who can fight the Lionel.
I mean, I fought one once.
Gorian looks at Elder. What?
Wait, what?
I told you I was a soldier.
What?
Did the
Twitch.
Lionel?
Flora matter-of-factly speaks up and says, yeah, he did.
What?
It was a good first try. He looks vaguely pleased with himself.
You
my
see
God.
everyone staring at you too.
Gorian's jaw is practically on the table.
I mean, I could try. It would probably be wiser than risking a sage, wouldn't it?
Yes, but you're talking about one of the strongest Lionels out there.
Alder looks hesitant, but I mean, who are you going to put forward that isn't worth more than I am?
You see Brutus kind of...
You can
Wait a
lose me, but you can't lose sages, right?
This isn't about sacrifice.
You're just implying that it's probably life or death. You have to be prepared. That's how battle works.
You see, the house leaders can look to each other, and Brutus speaks up. I'm not sure that's a good idea, little one.
I have over 100 years of experience to tell me that it's not the best idea, but do we have anything better?
Apart from the Sage of Spirit, no.
Maybe try to talk to this sage.
Sabina says, the question is, what could convince Yon to do such a thing? I don't know. Sabina, you know her more than anyone else. She'd like to roll insight.
On?
Or something that is better than insight. On how they can possibly convince Yon.
It's more of an intelligence check, I think. Insight's more of, you're reading somebody. Neil's in front of you right now, so you can't really read her.
Oh boy. Fun. I guess all we can do is ask. I have no idea this plan is suicidal. I make no promises, but all in favor of calling in the Sage of Spirit to see what she has to say.
They all kind of look to each other, and they all seem intrigued by the idea. Ori seems a little annoyed, but Tetra kind of, well, if you have a friend, then you might as well try. This is personal for you, right, Brutus? You see his eyes kind of turn downcast for a second. Yes, it is.
Brutus, do you want to go fight a Lionel yourself?
I feel like it's my duty to. That makes sense.
I understand.
Edmund kind of sits back in his chair, and if that's your decision, friend, you know that you need witnesses. I do.
And all the preparation you can muster.
I know. Tata speaks up. Well, if that's the case, then when do you want to go fight?
I should warn you, Brutus, there's possibly a chance we're not going to be allowed to use the thing from the invasion. He's talking about...
I know.
Yeah.
He knows.
Okay.
He looks at you for Mona Mara, and he flickers to everyone at the table, even Aurea, who's like... She has a very stern look on her face, but there's a flicker of worry across it. Edmund. Yes? What is it? Tonight. What is the moon phase? You see him kind of blink for a second, and he nods. Full. Tonight, then. I'll face the moon.
Gorian looks quizzically at Brutus.
Amira kind of understands where this is going and will just nod.
And you all hear the door open. So, I assume that the opinions of Clan Lupus no longer matter. And you all see Glenn standing there. Apologies, Glenn. We were pressed for time. I was on my way, you know. However, I have been briefed, mostly, and I just came on the tail end to hear your plan, Brutus. Are you certain? I am. You know he could kill you. I do. What say you? Neva, Edmund, Oria? Neva speaks up. If this is what he wants, then I can't stop him. Edmund, you've known Brutus as long as I. That is true. Yes, I know. If this is what Brutus needs to do, then you see him actually, for a moment, his bravado cracks as he's, the thought of his friend, his seemingly best friend, dying is giving him pause. If he has to do it, he has to do it. And Oria, if I am not mistaken, aren't you two promised to one another? You see her kind of look away with a scowl at that.
Hey, Marikovs.
No, we're not. You're not. Brutus has decided to ally the Ursai house with that of Azora. She glances at Amira and he kind of follows, as well as he's, oh dear, well. That is a problem. And as he's speaking now, you all see that the kind of weight he's carrying, this authority, it's like it seems at his house, if not the main, essentially kind of like they have sway over the other houses, as if he is respected as well as Brutus, if not more.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he looks to all of you. I'm informed you are the Forest State as well. He looks at the Koroks, as assuming that's who they are. And Flora nods and, yes, that's me. Well, little one, are you prepared for what you must do? Yes. According to Metatetra, he nods to her. Hello to you too, Glenn. Glad you could join us. My apologies, I had business elsewhere. And you, the rightful king, yes? We'll see you, Gorian.
Yes, I am. Good to see you again.
For what it's worth, my vote is that we do indeed help the rightful king. Allying ourselves is the only way forward.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Lady Sabina, I'm glad to see you are well. He nods to you and he bows a bit.
She nods back.
Well, tonight is to be your duel, Brutus. We must all be in witness.
Of course.
You have until tonight to prepare. As he looks at everyone, if you'll excuse me, I must be with my own clan and house. As he excuses himself, you're all left there. And Bruce speaks up to Flora this time. Flora. Yes? Finally successful. You will have your way to the Forest Temple, all of you. I'll ensure it. Tetra kind of, damned fool. Edmund kind of, well, it seems we are adjourned then. We will meet in the appointed place. We will do, Brutus. Quite well, friend. As he stands and Edmund kind of shakes Bruce's forearm and holds it for a moment there as he's... You'll win. I know you will. Troy pats him on the shoulder and he leaves. Leah gets up and she quietly excuses herself. And Oria gets up and she leaves. And Bruce just goes after her. He's, wait, Oria. What? As she turns around, they're outside the door now. Listen, I'm sorry. Amara. That's her name then, Amara. Pretty name. I love her, Oria. Love her. How long, pray tell, have you even known her? Long enough. She scoffs. Brutus, I don't want to watch you die. But this... You've broken trust between clans. I know. Well, I hope it's worth the risk. She turns. He goes to reach for her arm as he grabs her. You all see this deep snarl erupt from her throat as she turns around. You see her hand morph into that of a tiger as she swats him across the face. And you see him as he's now bleeding from the face with 3 claw marks over it. Don't touch me. I'll be there as a witness. But that's it. Before she turns and leaves, as Brutus is covering the side of his face that's now dripping with blood.
Amira's gonna walk over with like a towel and gently presses it to his face. So, she's who you were supposed to marry then?
Yes, she was who I promised you when I was a boy. We all left to the wardens together to make a difference.
Amira's gonna look over to Sabina like, can you heal him, please? She can only do so much. I can hardly,
She lays on hands.
yeah.
Alright, and you see those claw marks that are on his face. Do fade.
5 points.
Okay. Thank you.
I won't lie, I do not like the idea of losing you right now, but I don't think we have much in the way of choice either.
bruises.
Alder looks irritated, but wisely keeps his mouth shut for once.
Laura kind of looks worried too, but she also keeps her mouth shut. I need to get ready.
Yeah.
Mira will nod. So she really doesn't want to let him go right now.
And I'm assuming you let your hand linger there? And he kind of puts his hand over yours as it's easily Dorset, but he's... It'll be okay.
She nods. I have every faith in you.
And with that, Brutus gets up and, or rather, he kisses your forehead and mirror for you see his broad form disappear as he leaves.
Remember those times that I used to scold Lavana for making mistakes like this? I take it all back. She's just gonna slump into a seat.
He just slumps too. I don't like this.
Neither do I. She's just gonna fold her arms into her lap and just think about what she can do to help, but she's coming up blanks right now.
Clutch touch for now, does Beacon says. Well, that was what I expected. All right then. So, what do you have for me to do? She'll looks at you now, Corian.
Oh, me?
Mm-hmm.
Well, since it's just her, should we tell her about the whole
Yes.
sword thing? Because, Amira's just gonna look up and is like, actually, there's something we need to tell you, and it has to be kept between all of us.
She kind of stiffens a bit and she's... What is it?
Your Triforce is different from ours, slightly.
We may all share the same destiny, but your destiny is a little bit more unique than ours.
You're the one.
She kind of looks at you all confused.
You're the one that's chosen to wield the Master Sword.
I'm sorry, what?
You have the blood of the hero.
I'm sorry, what?
You, she's saying this even slower now, have the blood of the hero. Therefore, you are the only one eligible to wield the Master Sword to defeat Ganon. We can't do it.
She's tapped with a finger. You want me to fight Ganon?
No, we're all fighting Ganon. It's just that you're the only one who can draw the sword.
Roll a persuasion check with disadvantage in this moment.
Me or Amara?
Any of you. Well, either you or Meryl. Only you two are talking.
Oh. Whoa!
21, bitches.
Yes!
Man, that crit, yo. I'm sad it had to be disadvantaged.
It's like you speak to her and then she's like, I see the light.
Alright. She's looking at you with the most skepticism. But you see her kind of look at the symbol on her hand. And she's thinking.
I mean, if you don't want to take our word for it, you can always take the Sage of Light's word for it. I can get you to commune with him. He can tell you himself.
That sounds creepy, so no.
not creepy, but okay.
So I am the blood of the hero,
Yes.
or some such nonsense. Okay, so you'll need to get the Master Sword
Yes.
and wield it against Ganon, right?
Yes. You won't be alone when you do this. We will be there as well.
Alright, where is it then? I'll just go out right now and get it.
That's the problem. We don't know where it is.
Whoops, didn't mean to roll. But Alder would know, I think.
I looked to Alder. Does he know?
Roll a intelligence check, Alder?
Do I get advantage concerning forest things there?
Not right this time.
Okay, damn.
Hey!
Does he know where the sword is?
You can recall something, actually. You know that somewhere in the forest, maybe not where you are, but just somewhere in the forest, there is a temple. It's not a forest temple, though. You're not sure what kind of temple it is. It's very decrepit. But it's somewhere.
That's not helpful. It's better than nothing, I guess.
The Korok Forest and not the forest in the north? The forest
He's
in
not
the
sure. He knows that he knows of a temple. He definitely knows of a temple.
So the sword's in temple in the forest. I guess you can't be more specific. He just
How are you?
looks to Alder, hopefully.
You do remember which forest you saw it in, though, that roll.
Which forest?
And it definitely seems to be in the Deku Woods somewhere.
Didn't Riki say something about the trial? He's asking Amara, like, didn't Riki say something about the trial that we weren't ready for?
Yeah, sounds about right.
So, you want me to go just looking around in the forest?
I don't think it's going to be that easy.
Does Goria know if the trials that Riki spoke about in the Master Sword might be related?
You're actually not sure. Potentially?
Perhaps Lana might know.
Well, sure, just let me go talk to her, I guess, and I'll find out one way or the other.
Right.
Actually, wait, she kind of stopped for a second. It seems to be staring, and she kind of has, like, that natural scowl that seems to be on her face. I know where she is. So, while you all do this, you won't need to go there now, or do you want me to go after Brutus's duel?
I suppose it's only fair for Brutus that you stay.
She gotta take a breath. Alright, I'll stay. Hold on. And she sends another message before she... Alright, well, we have until tonight. However, what the little one said, she points to Flora, intrigued me. Talking to a Lionel.
We should
Can you do that? She looks at her and she's... Maybe?
We should try that before the duel.
I agree. I mean, even if they dismiss us, we can at least say that we tried to talk things through diplomatically first.
Keep in mind that Lionel Ian did kill all of Brutus's family.
I know. But I don't want to include Brutus in those casualties.
Neither do I.
All right then. She gets up. Well, we go there tonight.
Right. So knowing that Amara has a much higher persuasion check, she should probably do the talking.
Yeah,
Alright,
my
you guys.
persuasion is like a 9 plus 9, so pretty good.
Alright guys, so for sake of brevity, we're going to, if there's anything you all want to do, as the hours tick by.
Buy a little more, see if I can purchase any long arm milk from a potential shipment or something.
Let's see if there's any of that. There's a shipment currently. There, they only have, they have one last bottle.
Oh, I mean,
Hold on.
you probably should buy it.
Alright, 20 gold.
Okay.
Oh, excuse me, 3 piece.
Is there anywhere that they can upgrade their weapons?
Here?
I know we've already upgraded at the Goron village once, but I'm wondering if there's something else we can do here in terms of preparing for the temple. So I'm thinking.
There isn't anyone in this town that can upgrade your weapons.
Okay. That's all for Gorian.
Alder wants to speak to Tetra.
You do?
Remarkably, yes.
Okay, short stack. Okay. Well, as the hours tick by, you find Tetra seemingly sitting in a kind of a common area, and she seems to be in her hand. You see this beautiful, ornate shield that she seems to be kind of just staring at. I'll show you. There you go. It looks like this. Put it in Discord. She seems to be lost in thought as she hears you jingling on your approach, and she kind of lifts an eye and looks over at you.
I wanted to apologize. And he just sort of like looks at the wall for a second.
She kind of puts her shield down on the table in front of her. You want to apologize to me?
Yeah, I shouldn't have snapped at you. And I'm not used to the whole human thing, but it's not really an excuse. He looks like he would rub his neck if he could. His arms
Yeah, but you can't really. Your arms won't reach. We'll say you put them on your belly.
He shuffles his feet a little bit. There's a faint jingling noise.
And you see a kind of... No, I should apologize to you too. It's been a bit, high stress lately. And now I have to go. Well, apparently I'm the blood of the hero, so it falls on me to, you know, she kind of looks a bit exasperated.
Alder looks sympathetic and sort of takes a cautious step closer. Are you gonna be okay?
You take a step closer. You see her kind of... She bends down to pick you up and put you next to her. As she picks up the shield and she holds it kind of in her lap. Looking at that shield, Alder, you recognize it. And in fact, the more you look at her, she has the same expression on her face Link did a lot when he was by himself.
Alder kind of... his face slowly spreads into what you think would be a soft smile, if he could manage it behind his mask.
It's just... from trying to lead my people to all the stuff with Anara and Ganon and... I already saw the world in once. It's just a lot of... I mean, I'm used to pressure. It's just a lot of it.
It's a different kind of pressure. And he just sort of, like, nudges a little bit against her arm. You're not alone, though.
Tina smiles a bit. You're pretty sweet, Short Stack.
There's a faint chiming noise that sounds vaguely pleased.
You know, I got this.
He looks interested and looks up at her face.
I got it from my grandpa. Well, rather he was a soldier too, but he wanted to keep this. I think now I get why. And Alder, roll me a quick history check with advantage.
I'll take the advantage on that one.
As you're looking at her and you're thinking, and you remember my brother. What's his name? You keep searching for it and you keep thinking, and you immediately kind of jingle in realization. Right, Jamal. That was his brother's name.
Sorry, who is he the brother of?
Link.
Fair
Link's
enough.
brother's name was Jamal. Though, when you saw him, he was pretty young, still learning how to fight. At best.
He mentions the name and asks if she knows it.
She kind of blinks and looks at you. Yeah, that's, he used to be the leader of the Wardens. Between you and me, he's my grandpa.
I don't remember him when he was grown, but I remember him when he was smaller, and he sort of nudges her a little bit, hoping to lighten the mood, given that he's 2'4".
She just chuckles a little. You knew him.
I wasn't joking when I said I was over 100.
Well, the old man, I don't know how old he is. Never asked. But he wanted me to have this.
I can see why. And he sort of looks over the shield. It's important.
I'll say. Pretty steady, too. She kind of knocks on it twice in your cling cling.
Alder just snorts. I don't even have the arm length to hold a shield, but
You sure you're gonna try? She kind of like tries to put it on you.
it like leans against the top of his head, but it's taller than he is.
She chuckles a little. I'm just messing with you. She takes it off.
I mean, I just spent like a whole day shoved inside other people's coats, so I really can't talk.
You know, they say that over like 100 years ago that Hero, Zelda, and Ganon all disappeared. I'm doing my research.
Yeah, there's a lot of stories like that. And he looks vaguely upset at the idea.
Were you there?
I was around. My people were. It's weird just seeing people you know, even vaguely, suddenly not be there.
Yeah, I bet.
You're gonna do great, you know?
I used to work for the army for Edgar Morn until my grandpa got me out of there and made me a warden, and then the commander for some highly forsaken reason. Between you and me, I hate leading people. They never listen.
Alder kind of chuckles guiltily, but he speaks up anyway. He was kind of the same way.
Who was?
Who do you think? And he looks up at her.
You see her kind of faintly blush at that. Oh.
People who don't want to lead sometimes turn out to be the best at leading. And then he looks like he might be blushing with the leaf curling over his face. Flora told me that. Don't quote me.
Flora, huh? That's your little girlfriend?
The leaf curls even further.
Gonna hide your face a little.
Yeah. She's really great, you know?
She sounds great. You two are cute.
Thanks.
Don't let anyone know I said anything about anything being cute, please. I got appearances to hold up.
You and me both, man.
Not so
He puts
bad.
his hands on his little wooden hips.
Kind of just like a pose. She says, "Not so bad, short stack."
Well, I mean, I come across really bad in politics things.
Oh,
I think it's a soldier thing. He just sort of waves his hands uselessly.
oh, it is. I hate diplomacy. Kind of blows hair out of her face. But, between you and me, I'm worried about your friends.
Me too. I joined them really kind of recently, but they're really stressed. I'm worried about Amara's mate, and then I'm worried about Sabina's family, and then Gorian's stressed, and he just sort of looks up at her. I'm not really sure what else I can do except be a soldier, but they don't seem to like that I'm a soldier at all.
They've lost friends.
We all have.
Yeah, it just has a toll on someone. Gorian's trying to lead. Amara is unfortunately discovering the power of love. at the most inopportune times, like someone else I knew, but she's gone. And Sabina, well, I don't know her very well, but I know who her aunt is, and if she's anything like her aunt, she's trouble. In a good way, naturally.
Alder just laughs.
And Brutus, oh, that idiot has a heart big as Hyrule, but he's too damn good for his own good.
We'll figure it out, I think. We've just gotta stick together.
They do. I just worried about him because he's eating himself up about Oria. I'm sure you heard that whole thing.
Alder just looks distressed at that.
Yeah, and now he blames himself for making Oria feel some kind of way, and I'm sure someone hurt Amara, and now he's just caught in the middle. And on top of that, he's going to fight a golden Lionel, so you know.
Alder just stops for a minute. Is it bad to heal someone after a duel?
Usually you don't get the chance.
But is it allowed? Does it... He sort of waves his hands trying to figure out how to phrase it. Does it make the duel invalid if you save someone?
She kind of looks at him and she kind of gives a very sad expression. I think you're misunderstanding. It's a duel to the death.
Alder looks conflicted. I guess it's not really like we have the Great Deku Tree anymore to make things better.
No, it's not. Never met it, but I hear he was rather nice, at least.
He was great. Thank you, Commander. And he bumps against her again with a little jingle. I have to go back. They'll probably be looking for me, or at least Flora will. She might be mad. I didn't tell her where I was going. I wasn't here.
Well, best not keep your girl waiting.
His leaf curls again. Stop.
Yeah, he picks him up and puts him down on the ground.
He hugs her hand and then runs off.
All right. Anything else y'all want to do?
Sorry, I needed an interlude of cute.
No, that was very sweet.
Amara's making a good luck charm for Brutus in case negotiations fail.
Oh, and the hours tick by. Almost agonizingly as you all wait for the evening. And then eventually, the sun does go down. And the moon raises high in the sky. As predicted, it is full. And then you all gather.
Gorian says a prayer to the goddesses, just like, probably a futile effort anyway, but he does it.
Right. What are you praying for?
He's just praying to help guide Brutus through this battle.
I think Alder would join in his praying, but he would pray that Amara gets to keep her mate.
Oh, buddy.
They were going to try negotiations first, right?
Amara says she's also praying.
Yeah, I believe we're going to do negotiations first, or at least try, so...
Yeah.
Okay.
Or rather, I guess Gorian would instead be praying to guide them all through this somehow.
Okay. As you all do, lift your prayers in anticipation of the coming night. It does come. You all know it's time.
And this is the good luck charm that Amara gave.
Oh?
In Discord.
That's what she's made.
Aww. She's so sweet.
I was gonna suggest Sabina giving the Goron bracelet, but I'm not sure if that's honorable or not.
I don't think it'd work for Brutus anyway, because it only gives you a strength up to 19, right?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, Brutus has way more strength than that.
Alright, so you all gather, yeah? You all come to the foyer, and there you can see, wearing their winter clothing, Edmund, Oria, Neva, and Glenn. All their clothing displaying the sigil of their houses. Glenn's wearing the cloak of the wolf, Neva, the cloak of the eagle, Edmund, the cloak of the stag, and Oria, the cloak of the tiger. And you all step toward them, and you all kind of come off to the side for a bit. As you can see, Lord Rufus at the top of the stairs, staring down. And then you all see, stepping out, you hear his footfalls. Brutus.
Oh dear.
You see you see runes on his body, like war paint. And you see a wide cloak over his shoulders, showing the symbol of the bear. You see him take a deep breath as he descends the stairs, and you see his peers look to him, and they all nod in acknowledgement. He looks to you all as well.
Gorian also nods in acknowledgement.
Alder stiffens, but looks back.
Amira's gonna wait till he descends the stairs. And when she does, she's gonna offer him the bracelet.
Flora's with us, right?
Yes, she's there as well.
Alright. Gorian just turns to Flora and he says, "Are you ready to try this?"
She nods. You know what that? You all begin to leave, falling behind the house heads.
Yeah, Amira will give Bruce the bracelet and tie it on his wrist for him.
He does let you do so. He does look at you as you do so, as if memorizing her features in case of the last time you ever see them.
She will squeeze his hand, just like, I have faith in you. Like, I don't want him to die.
You're breaking my heart.
I know.
Welcome to
It's
D&D here
breaking
in
me
our...
inside.
It's Cloud's fault.
Yep.
She's probably just gonna walk alongside him for most of the trip. So
Gorian does want to tell Brutus that they want to try negotiating first.
yeah.
He's like,
Right.
I know it's not something I understand it's something it'll be very difficult for you to agree with, but I do have to think about the good of everyone here. I hope you don't mind.
If you want to try that, well, very well.
He puts a hand on Brutus' shoulder and says, "Good luck."
He smiles at you, Gorian, and he clasps your forearm. Thank you.
He nods.
And then together, with Brutus leading with the mayor by his side, and the house behind him, and you behind them, you all begin to traverse out of the castle and out into the snowed forest. It takes about a good 30 minutes of walking. But ultimately, you all do come upon this. I'll put you in Discord. A clearing beneath the moon. And then you all stand there as the wind rolls past this clearing, picking up drifts of snow with it. But Brutus stands still, chin held high, back straight, waiting. You all do wait. 5 minutes. 10 minutes. Then eventually you hear a collective roar. As you all see, you'll hear the thunderous echo of hoofbeats beating against the snow. And then you all see a whole... There's at least 50, if not more, 100. You're not sure, but they are definitely numerous. Before you all can see Lionels. Tall, imposing, huge. Just staring at them, you can feel their power. And they all, even from this distance, you can feel the collective pressure, almost, of their presence. And you all feel, even as strong as you are, vulnerable. And you will see, I'll put to you in Discord. You all do see males and females. And they all kind of have this collective stare on you all that is, if it weren't for the Triforce, you might have to make a check so you don't succumb to fear. What you all see in particular, all the Lionels kind of make way in part, and they begin to take their shields as they begin to slam their swords against their shields in a loud, rhythmic beat. And as they do so, you see Brutus stiffen. As you all hear these, you can feel on the ground. You feel the ground shake a bit.
Alder motions to be put down.
You begin to hear the drums of his arrival. So for all of you, I'll put this one to you in the game. You all see this Lion stepping forward. And he, just seeing him, his aura is immense. You've never felt anything like it before. Not from any of the creatures you fought within the temples. It was the very first time you feel power As every footfall, you can see the ground splinter beneath it. He stands tall. He is large as well. And he puts his spear into the ground.
Would now be a good time
He speaks.
sorry.
Ursai. Lust. Son of Ursai. As you see Brutus. Take a breath. Nemean.
Is this a good time for Gorian and Flora to intrude? Interrupt.
As good a time as any.
Alright. He holds down for Flora to get up on his shoulder. Pulls a hand out.
She does so.
He looks at Amara, like, see if she has anything she can add to the conversation. If she wants to join him for the negotiation. She will try and help for sure. Alright, so Gorian approaches between them, sort of. More on the side of
Between
Brutus
them?
more on the side of Brutus than on the Lionel for sure, but he steps forward. He brings
Okay.
Flora and Amara with him.
As you step forward, everyone has a perception is high enough for this. As he steps forward, you see every Lionel here almost like practiced simultaneously draw their bow and hold back an arrow.
He just slowly raises a hand as in like, give us a moment to speak.
Bruce kind of looks at you and Mian holds his chin. You hear a bit of a growl under his breath.
Alder is very tense, but he doesn't move a muscle.
All I ask is for a simple moment to speak before the duel.
Mian stares at you, and getting closer to him, you feel like this kind of feeling in your stomach that's like just a primal kind of caution. But you all do see around his paw, like his paw pads on the ground, the snow starts to melt away just a bit, as if his natural aura is hot, very hot, as he speak.
Does Flora have anything she wants to say first, or?
She's waiting for you first.
Okay. Does Amara have anything she wants to say first before Gorian screws everything up? Honestly, Gorian kind of assumed Flora would have something. But okay.
Do you want her to lead?
I just thought Flora had something to say, but
She does, but do you want to talk first? Do you want her to talk first?
probably her.
Alright.
Actually, do I know in my gut if that's a good idea or not?
You're not sure.
I don't know.
You see Flora look to you as she does come down off your shoulder. And she gets a bit closer. However, as she does, you all see one arrow come through the air like a javelin before it into the ground near her as a warning.
Alder makes a irritated chiming noise, but he muffles it.
As she... You're Damian? He nods. Damian, I am Flora. I am the Sage of Forest. You see him kind of look down at her for a moment. But he was listening to her. I want to ask you 2 questions. Why do you duel?
Power protects.
Sorry, power protects?
Yes.
We fight to be.
Okay. So you fight for your people. He nods, and you all can see, collectively from the Lionels, they all kind of look at him with the utmost respect. I know that you follow Ganon. Why? He continues to look down at her.
Ganon has vowed the place for us to be. Lionel will be treated as equal, not beast.
Okay, does Gorian feel like he could speak up?
Yes.
Can you truly trust someone as scheming as Ganon to hold up his promise?
He looks at you now.
Ganon and many of his ilk have often employed subterfuge and betrayal in order to get what they want. For someone who wants to have total dominion over these lands, it seems strange that he'd be excluding you from that.
Ganon give word long ago. These
He points to the houses, including Brutus.
hunt us without relent. We fight to be.
What if I can promise I can change all that?
Looks at you now.
What if I can promise that after this whole thing is over, I can promise that the Lionels are treated as people, not something to be hunted?
Little persuasion check, Corian.
21.
21.
We cannot bring the lives back that have been lost over the senseless conflict. But we're only going to lose more if we keep going forward with it. Someone has to bury the hatchet, and I'm offering to do that right now.
How can I trust your word?
Amir says, we're here to protect our people as well. In a way, we are of the same mind. We have a similar goal, and I would much rather we do it together.
Do you believe your strength collectively exceeds that of Ganon?
She says, I do. And Gorian says, we've already begun making machinations against Ganon's coming. We believe that with enough time, and with your help, we can finally liberate these lands. And we can finally give your people a home. A proper one.
You do notice some of the houses seem a bit uncomfortable with that prospect.
Does he know why? Or is it just because they were attacking each other?
It seemed that they were at war for a period of time and you're offering just peace straight up.
It'll be very difficult. It'll be difficult to put all our differences aside. But for our future generations, for our children and our children's children, it's the best thing we can possibly do for them.
Alright, and as you say so, you do see one of the females step up toward him, and she is Silver. Lionel. As she speaks, Beloved, if what this man says is true, we could at last have a place to be. As he looks to her and kind of narrows his eyes at you a bit, Gorian. And then you all see another Lionel step up to talk to him. And this one seems to be white. As he says, as you hear him give a snarl of anger as he's lies.
Nemean trust not these puny things. They fear because we are so close.
Gorian speaks up again and says, I have personally seen what has happened when Ganon has taken full control. My home was destroyed twice before my very eyes. I know that you fear of having the same thing happen to you. And while I can't promise that this will end well for both of us, I can't promise that if you do not agree, Ganon will destroy your home by the end of it all. He's indiscriminate. He is absolutely evil. And he will stop at nothing to have everything in his grasp. And that means having no one else to take claim of it.
Alright, Gorian. I need you to give me one more persuasion check.
Oh no, 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 no. 6!
Would Amara's having spoken alongside him help with that?
Yeah, that would give him an advantage. Alright, yeah.
Advantage?
Yeah, because Amara did help you. She did do a help action, basically, so yes.
20.
20.
Please be enough.
You see Nemean staring at you as the other Lionel begins talking more in his ear as he's
Nemean, see reason.
before the other Lionel, seemingly his mate, speaks as she's, Beloved, this could be an end For you all hearing me, and as the all other Lionels begin to try to speak up to plead to him, you all hear him give a loud roar, silencing everyone.
You. Sorry.
And Brutus is still staring at him, kind of.
What do you want? Speak plain and true.
Gorian looks to Brutus kind of pleadingly.
All eyes fall on Brutus. And Tetra's silent, but she's watching as well.
And Amara gives Brutus a gentle squeeze on the hand.
He looks to his fist as he clenches it. He looks to Amara, and that same arm that has her charm on it now. He looks back at the others. Edmund seems to be nervous. Via's watching. Glenn has his chin held up high as well, and Ordia, even how angry she is at him, she still looks nervous as well.
What I want, Nemean. What I want is to avenge my family.
Gorian's horrified.
What I want is to kill you. Every fiber of my being demands it.
Now that you kind of see both me and him give it a roar at each other. You hear him. You see, like, his skin to begin to shift for a moment. You see him begin to set himself. However, you see as he is, as you see the canines growing in his teeth, and you see his eyes begin to shift as the runes begin to glow. You see him look at Amara, look at the charm, look at you, Gorian, look at Nemean, who seems to be taking a second glance at him as all the other line are looking on now.
But I believe in what he says. That if Ganon is allowed to walk Hyrule, we all suffer. You get no land, my people perish, your people perish. No one wins. We're just the fools that played the part. Nemean, I can't forgive what you did. But for the good of everyone, if the cycle has to end with me, if my family goes unavenged, if I have to lay down my pride right here in front of you, for Hyrule, I will do so without question.
And you see Via kind of take a breath as she looks to Glenn and Edmund as they look on as well. You see Oria kind of tensely relax.
So I ask you, Nemean, will you do the same? You see Nemean take his spear and hold it up before you hear him. You see him thrust it into the ground with a audible crack into the permafrost below. For my people, for the lion, without question. You see his mate smile for a moment, and you see the albino snarl in anger as he's Nemean. And before he gets another chance to talk, you see Nemean turn, grab him by his face, lift him up off the ground, and slam him into the ground. No more words, or you die. You see the other lion's eyes widen, before he quietly nods.
Alder is suitable levels of impressed and nervous.
Gorian turns to the other people, and he's bleeding, I guess you could say, and says, "Let it be known that the Lionel are not our enemy." We'll have to keep things at a distance between us for now, but I hope that in time we can come together as one eventually. Maybe not this generation, maybe not the next, but someday after that.
You get a nod. You see Edmund eagerly. Yes, naturally, yes. You see Glenn look at you a bit critically, Gorian, but he does ultimately nod. Aurea seems to take a moment, and she also nods slowly.
He turns back to Nemean, and he extends a hand out for a handshake.
You see Nemean stare at you. He begins to approach. You hear the audible of his footsteps as he towers over you, Gorian. And up close now, you can feel that heat. And he looks down at you, chin held high.
He's clearly intimidated, but there's like this, like he's going for this. No
Yeah.
hesitation. Determination, yes.
You see Nemean unfurl his hand, and it is massive. His hand seems to be like about the size of your torso. And his hand engulfs yours and your arm. And he gives one firm shake that almost pops your arm out of its socket.
He grunts.
Keep your word. What is your name?
King Rome Bosphoramus Hyrule.
This must go beyond you, Rom.
I'll do everything in my power to make sure future generations think the same. I'll teach my children all the ways to keep alliance with you, to keep you free. I can only hope that you can do the same.
He doesn't smile, but there's a bit of a... You see one of the side of his face kind of curl up, and you can assume it's a smirk before he lets your arm go. And he begins to back, turning towards his people. As you hear him give
One last roar. And as he does so, you all hear them all roar in response. And they all begin to bound away. You hear the thunders of their hoofbeats and paw beats as Mian follows suit, grabbing his spear, and his mate joins him. And they all disappear over the ridge. You're left there, alone.
Holy cow. Okay, first of all, thank you so much, Amira, for giving me the advantage, and thank you, Alder, for reminding us.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I couldn't speak throughout that because Will was in the middle of something. So
Okay.
I was like, I want to say stuff, but I can't.
Sorry.
Yeah, I was just like, wait, Amara was saying words. That's two people. That's advantage.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was advantage if they reminded me.
Yeah.
I'm so
Oh my
glad
God.
you
Bless
rolled
that
a 20.
20.
I'm just drenched in sweat right now. Okay.
My hands are shaking.
Gorian turns to the others, especially Brutus, and he just says, I'm sorry you have to hold your anger like this, Brutus. I wish there was some way that everyone could be happy in all this, but we have to make sacrifices to move forward.
You see
You
Brutus.
Took a lot of strength, Brutus.
You see him struggling with it as he's... You see him kneel down. As he produces, it seems to be different sigils of his house, but they seem worn and old. As he moves the snow aside, and you see him put each and every one into the snow before covering it up.
Gorian also says, I know that this might seem like the biggest sacrifice you've ever made, but if there is one good thing to come out of it, it means that this is not the end of the Ursai clan.
Letting go of the past is probably one of the hardest things we have to do. And at least this ensures that we might have a future. She's just gonna wrap her arms around Brutus and give him a hug.
You see him. He does put an arm around her hands as he's... If it's all right, I just need some time.
Of course. She's just gonna kiss his forehead and, I guess, step back so he can have some time alone. I guess I'll pick up like Flora and Alder and take them with me.
Gorian also goes with them.
Now that he's in the same place as Flora, he's just hugging her tightly.
She hugs him back. As the other houses look to Brutus, and they, after the other bow in respect, even Aurea, before they leave him there to mourn for a moment. To which you all do see Tetra, as she was watching, as she, in respect of the moment, kind of has stepped back from it as well. Good job.
Thank you.
It's gonna be a long, hard road from here on out. This was surprisingly the easy part. But we've all had to sacrifice something. Just looks back to where Brutus is.
You see him there. He hasn't moved.
I hope that all of it, in the end, it has a positive outcome for everybody.
Yes, and hopefully with this alliance, the lion also lets you past into the forest temple.
Yeah. I just hope the peace between us all can come sooner rather than later.
You did good, Gorian.
He smiles.
Well, you're gonna need those negotiation skills when you actually get on the throne. She's just gonna smile weakly and nudge Gorian sort of the elbow, trying to lighten the mood.
He kind of gets a sheepish grin.
Alright. What do you guys want to do?
I mean, Amira's gonna wait for as long as Brutus needs, to be honest.
Same with Gorian, and I guess whenever they get the chance, they'll double back to the Castle Snowfield.
Okay.
But
So you all wait for them?
Yeah, they're not going to leave him alone out here.
You all wait. And then you do see him stand, finally. He does start approaching. And you can see that on his face, his cheeks were wet with tears. But you see him now standing tall as he can. As he's thank you.
You don't have to thank us.
We should be the ones thanking you.
Mm.
There is no shame in what you have done. Very few people could have gone through with something like this, especially in your position.
It was your words, Gorian. You were right. It's not about us.
Right. We should get back. It's kind of cold up here.
Yeah. Let's go.
Amira will nod and start carrying the Flora and Elder back.
Okay. And Tetra follows you all as well. And another 30 moments or so, you all do arrive back to the city streets, and it's very quiet as you do see snow starting to drift down gently. And you can see the lanterns in the street are lit. And you do see families through windows kind of huddled together near their hearths and talking and laughing and such. And for you, Amara, it makes you miss your family.
Oh yeah, very much so.
For you, Gorian, you miss your father.
Yeah.
And Alder, you miss your brother. But you glance back and you do see Brutus. And you realize that he must feel alone in the world.
Alder holds a hand out.
Yeah, Amira's gonna hold her hand out as well. And she's just gonna smile at him. He's like, for better or worse, Brutus, you're not alone. Not anymore.
You see a very gentle smile come over his face. As he does, take both your hands.
Alder beams at him.
He smiles back at Alder. He squeezes your hand, Amira. And you all begin walking back to the castle itself, having just done the impossible and convincing the Lionels to ally with you so that you all may make a better future together, convincing Brutus to give up his desire for revenge for the good of all. And you're not sure what the Force symbol will hold. But regardless, you are together. And just maybe you might be able to make the world better for it. And that is what we're going to call it.